Have you noticed something? Everybody today is talking, but very few people are actually saying anything real. Tipsy Talks was created for honest conversations, not polished answers, not scripted success stories, but real people with real journeys, real failures, real lessons, and sometimes real vulnerabilities.
CHN, because that is the time and place where I actually started to lead men into battle. It was not easy when you are a second lieutenant. Like in our times, we used to be commissioned as second lieutenants, right? So as one-star general. So I think all my basic leadership lessons came from CHN, from living with the men on the post, eating with them, fighting with them, taking all the storms together.
Definitely. I mean, I would like to have been in the Battle of Basanta with General Hamid Singh as my CEO.
Likewise,
Madras Rapper met with boys and men who were alien to me. But we grew together, and there was never a dull moment. There was always something to learn about.
अगर आप ऑफिसर बनना चाहते हो, आर्मी ऑफिसर बनना चाहते हो, तो सबसे पहले ये मान लो कि ज्यादा लोग इसलिए फेल नहीं होते क्योंकि वो कम कैपेबल होते हैं. ज्यादा लोग फेल इसलिए होते हैं क्योंकि वो गलत क्लैरिटी के साथ सिस्टम में प्रवेश करना चाहते हैं.
फियर इंसान के लिए एक बहुत ही जरूरी क्वालिटी है, क्योंकि एंथ्रोपोलॉजिकली हमें अपने आप को सरवाइव करने के लिए फियर को हैंडल करना और फियर को समझना बहुत जरूरी है.
तो अल्टीमेटली टिप्सी आई रियलाइज कि ये सारा कुछ यहाँ पे वो बोलते हैं माइंडसेट का खेल है.
I think these were the themes: hard work, more than smart work, service before self, and the harder right is the easier wrong have always remained with me throughout my journey.
Mission style of command is a German term which came up. I think it's called Auftragstactik. That's the word which says mission order tactics or mission style of command. And that is primarily meant for a chaos and the speed of a mobile battle.
हम सब सुनते आए हैं कॉन्फिडेंट बनो, स्पीक अप, लीड, पर कोई ये नहीं समझाता कि आखिर ये होता कैसे है. और जब हम पूछने की कोशिश करते हैं तो मन में एक अजीब सी उलझन, एक अजीब सा डर लगता है कि कहीं लोग हमें इसी बात के ऊपर जज न कर बैठे.
So a career-born aviation gives you the capability of having an integral aviation element with you.
Biggest leadership lesson that I learned in CHN was any decision that I as an officer take will affect the lives of my men.
जिसमें कि सैकड़ों कमांडो स्टूडेंट्स को हमने ट्रेनिंग दी है, और इस दौरान मुझे उनके माइंडसेट को समझने में और उस माइंडसेट को डिकोड करने में काफी मदद मिली है, जिसको कि मैंने अपनी 2 पुस्तकों में लिखा है और मैं आपके साथ आज शेयर करने का प्रयास करूंगा.
When Sri Lanka, this Indo-Sri Lanka Accord was signed, I have no doubt in my mind that there was some misreading of the ground situation, particularly at the military level.
So I believe that the next decade belongs to Indian voices,
Right.
Speakers who can blend intellectual with emotion, with technology, with humanity, and ambition with ethics. That is what the world needs now, and that's what India naturally offers.
When the British arrived in India, the proportion of literate Indian population, when I say literate, that is the percentage of population which could read, write, and also maintain simple accounts,
Right.
was much higher than that that was existing in Europe at that particular stage.
A working contractor walked up in the middle of the night in January 2008.
Okay.
And he brought along a guest, and he soon introduced that guest to be a brother of that famous terrorist Sayyid Salahuddin.
Yeah, so there was a lot of enthusiasm when we came to know that these girl cadets are coming. So it was quite challenging. And as a soldier, we require challenges.
Telltale signs of this conflict building up were available for a very long time. In terms of our foreign policy, since we wanted to be friendly with almost all our neighbors, you would recall there was in the Chini Bhai Bhai.
Yes.
Went on. The Prime Minister of China visited us just about a year before the conflict.
मैं 30 करोड़ कर रहा हूं, अब मुझे 200 करोड़ के लिए जाना. अब वो 200 करोड़ का डेस्टिनेशन इस लाइक कि मुझे इस दीवार के ऊपर मैं एक सीढ़ी लेके चढ़ रहा था,
राइट,
करेक्ट। तो मुझे लगता है कि इसी सीढ़ी के 10 पाए और लगा दूं तो ऊपर 200 करोड़ है। नो, ऐसा नहीं है।
The most scariest sound of for a submariner is a unexpected sonar ping from a close range.
So my mother, God bless her soul, she used to tell me that as a child, very early in my childhood, I used to sing 2 songs.
Okay.
The first one goes, "Ye kaun chitraकार है, ye kaun chitraकार."
And then also I used to get beaten up by older boys, when I used to travel to school.
Okay.
So that used to bother me, and it used to bother my parents also. So I guess that is what the self-preservation was the first, motivation behind learning to fight.
So acceptance for me is that soft, steady courage to look at life in the eye and say, even though this is not what I expected,
right?
Yeah, but I will meet with grace.
Yeah, that's right. But in our days, there were no mobile phones. There was nothing else. Not even television, actually, when we were growing up. You know that. So we had no other option but to go out and play.
Immediate reaction is honestly a bit of confusion because you really don't know what has happened to you.
Absolutely.
And so your mind also, it doesn't register immediately that you have lost a leg.
That's a very interesting one, sir. होता क्या है कि जब माउंटेनिंग स्टार्ट किया मैंने एवरेस्ट के लिए नाम तो दे दिया अब I didn't know what I was signing up for because this time we climbed with one of the blind girls for Everest.
Okay.
So every minute in the classroom was a learning moment, and I used to tell my student officers that I had much to gain from them.
आज यहाँ है कल कुछ और हो सकता है। मम्मी ऑलवेज यूज्ड टू से हो सकता है शादी होके तुम कहीं ऐसी जगह चली जाओ जहाँ पे हिंदी ना बोली जाती हो, इंग्लिश ही ना बोली जाती हो, तो तुम क्या करोगी?
Do you think reading and writing are becoming extinct habits amongst the current generation?
You're absolutely right, Tipsy. That is the irony. Because if you don't read, you don't write.
Right.
And if you don't write, you're only resorting to cut paste, and there is no creativity, there is no originality. And
there is no escape now. You have to go up. The only way is up.
Let me now dissociate myself with these professional responsibilities, get down, dilute them, and pick up what I want to do in life. And that was very important. And I'm very happy that I did it. And now I can consider myself as a liberated soul.
I realize if I don't do it, I'll regret it. And I don't want to regret anything in life.
Okay. Especially in bad weather times and many storms, I think she has a voice of wisdom, which often flows through the noise and the chaos of the storm. Actually, I think I need to listen to her more often, but don't tell her I said so. She's going to see the link in any case.
Then I made it a point that I would live my life as normal as any other person. I've been riding motorcycles, I've been climbing hills, trekking, walking, everything, swimming.
It's not a time of emotion, it's time of being competent, being relevant, and contributing to whichever organization you are a part of. तो ये बड़ा जरूरी है कि आप वैल्यू एडिशन क्या करते हैं अपनी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में।
और जो आपने व्हाट्सएप क्लोनिंग की बात कही, इसको हमारी लैंग्वेज में आइडेंटिटी थेफ्ट कहते हैं.
I was at a gathering the other day and somebody asked me, Mr. Agarwal, what do you do?
Right.
And I said, I'm involved in emotional intelligence. And they looked at me and they said, ये क्या नई बीमारी है?
So you have to spend a lot of time with patience, with consistency in the investment journey. So अगर एक young officer 21 या 22 साल में अपनी जर्नी शुरू करता है, तो पूरे जर्नी के दौरान उसे 6-7 साइकिल्स या 5 साइकिल्स तो जरूर मिलते हैं.
Warren Buffett, the most famous investor and one of the richest people of our times.
Right.
He quotes Einstein saying that compounding is the 8th wonder of the world. The one who understands it earns it. The one who doesn't pays it.
And I hail from a liberal Punjabi family where materialistic and spiritual pursuits were never in conflict with each other.
Right, sir.
We can pursue them independently or jointly. And as a matter of routine, our 3 generations would get together and indulge in a crazy drinking session while discussing deep nuances of spirituality.
But, I feel if you have a good lifestyle, it really helps you to improve your energy levels.
Right.
So over the many years, I have seen कि पहले जो game होता था,
एक कैजुअल पास टाइम होता था, पर अब वो धीरे धीरे इमोशनल सपोर्ट बनता जा रहा है।
जरूरी नहीं है कि जो हमारी वायरिंग होगी उसको चेंज नहीं किया जा सकता, उसको रीवायर किया जा सकता है, यानी कि हमारे बिलीफ सिस्टम को, हमारे वे टू रिएक्ट को, हमारे इमोशनल आउटबर्स्ट को चेंज किया जा सकता है थ्रू सम थिंग्स.
That incidentally was the first time I had embarked Virat.
Okay.
She was a flagship. I was in the Eastern Fleet for one of the exercises.
Right.
So that's the first time I had embarked. At that time, I never dreamt that I'll be commanding her one day.
Then an existential question kind of popped up in my head. What next? Is it the path that I want to continue to follow, or could there be more to life?
Well, I would say my journey of executive presence started from the playgrounds and the parade grounds of the army to the anterooms of the officers' mess.
The gold standard in 42 is Boston. You see, the oldest marathon in the world.
Right.
So then you have to qualify for that.
Tipsy, like मैंने भी कभी ये सोचा नहीं था कि मैं इस स्टेज पे आऊंगा और एक माइंड हैकिंग कोच बनूंगा.
I think the first thing that you get to know is you need to respect nature. You know, the power of nature is phenomenal. And I remember we saw wind speeds of up to around 200 miles per hour.
अगर माउंट एवरेस्ट अगर आपसे बात कर सकते है ना, तो उसने जरूर देखा होगा ऊपर से नीचे कि है ये छोटा सा बच्चा ये भी ऊपर आ गया मेरे लिए, है ना. तो वो ये जरूर कह रहा होगा कि ऊपर क्यों नहीं आ रहा है मेरे पास में.
मैं उस टाइम में जब हम वापस आए थे मैंने सोच लिया कि अब तो एवरेस्ट तो मुझे जाना ही जाना है.
Okay. 1 year later, the conversations are just getting started. Jai Hind.